Just want to welcome everybody to the annual ETSRPA Scholarship Dinner. My name is Phil Althouse. I am the president of the ETSRPA. And before I begin, I want to take a moment to thank a few individuals. First off, I want to thank some individuals for the support that they provide this organization that I have the privilege of representing as president. My fellow officers, there's no way that we would be here right now without the support of our vice presidents, Tony Franz and Sue Burns, our secretary, Yolanda Suba, and our treasurer, Teresa Roselli. In addition, I also want to recognize the following union representatives that are in attendance this evening: Leslie Streeter, Janine Russo, and Rowan Cruz. And last but not least, for this page, my speech, all the other rank and file members that came out, and the ones that work so hard and so diligently every day for the children of the Elmville Central School District. Thank you all. We also have the Director of Physical Athletics and Education, or Physical Education, and Director of Athletics, Mr. Kermit Moyer in attendance tonight, and School Board Member Wayne Story. Thank you guys for coming out. But the heart of the matter tonight are our student scholarship recipients and their families. Tonight we're going to give out 10 scholarships to students that were voted on by the entire general membership of the ETSRPA. Please understand that that means that you were selected by the general membership of the entire union. And that means that you stood out from your peers and you have caught the attention of so many. Otherwise, you would not be here this evening as an honoree. I think the most important group of people to thank tonight are your parents. As parents, we are the most important teachers in the lives of our children. And as a union of educators and educational support staff and professionals, we thank you all for entrusting us with your greatest gifts, your kids. Thank you. As the school year winds down, there are many celebratory nights. In my opinion, this is by far the greatest night of them all. Typically, each scholarship recipient chooses a current member of the ETSRPA. And for those of you who are winning awards tonight, that's Ellenville Teachers and School-Related Professionals Association. It just rolls off the tongue. But typically, each scholarship recipient does choose a current member of the ETSRPA to formally introduce them. I think we can all agree that this hasn't been the most typical of years. And as a result, due to all the COVID-19 regulations that have been changing so drastically and rapidly, nationally, here in New York State, we were in a position where we could not necessarily pull off the RSVP requirements around this event and organize speakers, and we did not want to put any of our scholarship recipients in a position where they could potentially be here and not have somebody to speak on their behalf. The rules in New York State changed on May 19th. And planning an event of this size, requires some time. So needless to say, we are grateful that we are all here because, last year we got to do something that was much smaller. This is still atypical, but, I think we can all agree that, we're going in the right direction. Before I get into how this evening is going to proceed, I just want to explain the COVID-19 regulations that the paper mill was instituted. As I just alluded to on May 19th, the governor stated that fully vaccinated Americans, or New Yorkers, do not need to wear masks indoor or outdoors, and that private institutions have the ability to mandate mask policies if they so choose to. The paper mill does not. So, what we've decided to do this evening for the scholarship award winners is to have them speak after receiving their award. But we asked each of them to answer the following questions during their acceptance speech. What important lessons did you learn as a student at Ellenville Central School District that you think you will carry with you for the rest of your life? And why do you consider those lessons so valuable? That's what we wanted our award winners to reflect upon tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, be prepared to laugh. Get your tissues ready. And just be ready to enjoy a beautiful evening of success stories associated with public education. We're going to bring up some of the award winners prior to dinner, take a pause to eat, and then continue as the evening progresses. But our first scholarship recipient this evening, who I'm now going to call to the podium to receive her award and to speak to all of you, is Sarah Stevens.
Good evening. First, I would like to thank all of the union members who voted for me to receive this award. I greatly appreciate your support in my endeavors after high school. I would also like to give a quick shout out to my parents and siblings who have been an enormous help while we all juggled what seemed like umpteen million events, whether that was sports, to the arts, or academic ventures. Beyond that, I would like to thank each and every ETSRPA member, glad I got that one right, current or past, and all the parents and family who have built the community that I am so grateful to be a part of. I've always thought of our school as my second home, and that is a direct result of the kind and caring individuals that fill its halls. I, of course, have had my favorite teachers, but this thank you goes beyond that. It encompasses the janitorial staff I share smiles and well wishes with in the hall, the lunch ladies who make fourth period bearable, even with plexiglass and masks, and the security guards whom I often stop and chat with in the lobby, usually while they're writing me a late pass. We all have those mornings. It goes out to all of the ETSRPA members and parent volunteers who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make our time at Ellenville the best it could be. I know I mentioned them briefly earlier, but I would like to take a second to sincerely thank the teachers in our district, many of whom I consider my second family. The overwhelming majority of teachers at Ellenville truly care on a personal level about their students' well-being. This goes far beyond how they plan their lesson schedules or pick course material. Rather, it is the prep period spent listening to students vent, the heartfelt advice given after school, and the constant space that they save for us in their busy minds. They have been our teachers in 1,000 more ways than just an academic instruction. In our community, learning goes well beyond what can be absorbed from a textbook or worksheet. Our teachers and staff help guide us through many challenging moments that feel like the most difficult time in our lives. In 18 short years, we'll experience many of our firsts in the presence of our teachers, both good and bad. As we learn to walk through life, they help teach confidence, compassion, and conflict resolution. And when we inevitably stumble, they are there to help. I personally have had countless experiences at Ellenville that helped me grow as an individual. I can recall many rounds of devil's advocate around art room tables that left me walking away with a brand new perspective, and numerous lunch periods spent in our English classroom discussing complex issues that helped ground me in my thoughts and actions. I am proud to say that as a student at Ellenville, I learned how to be a person, and a good person at that. Someone who cares and works hard, someone with an open mind that is still confident enough to hold their ground. All qualities exemplified by our staff, and qualities that I hope to embody throughout my life. I am a firm believer that it takes a village to raise a child, and while I also have two amazing parents, I feel blessed to have been surrounded by the individuals at our school as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. That was great. Kind of debating if I should tip the kids off on who's next or not. Because I just told the next person that they're coming up, but I don't know if I'm going to do that after this one, so I'll take my list down with me. So whoever's number 3, you're not going to get to see when you're speaking, but whatever. I think it'll make it more exciting that way. We can all use some surprise in our life. Our next scholarship recipient who's going to be stepping up to the podium this evening is Ethan Alexander.
Great. Sarah already said all the fun stuff, but good evening, everybody. First, I'd like to thank the members of the ETSRPA for selecting me for the scholarship. This financial aid will greatly help me to further my education. I also want to thank my parents, friends, teachers, guidance counselors, and administrators throughout the years that helped me and pushed me to be the best student that I can. School would have been much more difficult without all of your support. I learned a lot more throughout my high school career than just the subjects in my classes. It took a while, but the most important thing I learned is how to manage my time. I would often feel paralyzed as due dates piled up, especially in my first 2 years of high school, and I would feel constantly anxious and I didn't know how to handle the stress. It wasn't until my senior year that I finally learned how to face these issues head on and overcome them. Now I budget my time and set progress goals so I'll never have to work all night on a single thing. Sure, I still get overwhelmed at times, but I'm much better equipped to work under pressure. This skill will be useful in all aspects of my life, because there's always going to be deadlines and there's always going to be projects due. Thank you again to the ETSRPA and all those who helped me to get to where I am today.
Congratulations, Ethan. Our next scholarship recipient is Joanna Garcia.
I think this is low enough. Good evening, everyone. I would first like to thank the ETSRPA for awarding me the scholarship. It is truly an honor to be accepting this tonight. I also want to thank all the teachers that have made an impact in my life. Those being Mr. Trombley, Mrs. Gillette, Mrs. Fagan, and Mrs. Meyer. I would not be the student I am today without their guidance and advice throughout my high school career. But more importantly, I would like to thank my family for being my biggest supporters. My brother and I were always taught that family members are the most important people in your life. My life has been filled with highs and many lows, and they have been there for me through it all. Although we're known to be a very busy family, I know that I will always be able to count on them no matter what. As a student from Ellenville Central School District, the most important lesson I've learned was about how to pursue a career. That lesson being, if there is no passion for the job you are pursuing, then there will be no joy in it either. I have come to notice that my favorite teachers are those who genuinely love their jobs and their students. Having teachers who exemplify this message has only encouraged me to pursue my dreams of becoming a nurse. This is a crucial life lesson for students stepping into the real world. And having learned this so early on in life is beyond helpful. So I thank all the teachers who have silently taught me this valuable lesson throughout my 13 years of student level. Thank you.
Congratulations. It's time for our next scholarship recipient. Hannah.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the scholarship award. I would like to say thank you, first of all, to the Elmville Teachers and School-Related Professionals Association for this opportunity, as well as my family, friends, and teachers who have been my biggest support system. During my time at Elmville, I learned many life lessons that will stick with me for the rest of my life. The most important lessons that high school has taught me have been to take risks and to challenge yourself. Because even if you fail, you will have stepped outside of your comfort zone and become a better person going forward. This is an important lesson that will stay with me as I go forward, fearlessly to my future endeavors. Thank you again for this award.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have one more award winner come up tonight, and that is Sullivan Gordon. Sorry, give me 1 second.
I would like to thank the teachers as well as the Teachers Union for choosing me to be a recipient of this award. One of the many lessons I've learned while attending schools in the Elmville Central School District is a growing sense of self-confidence. This is a very helpful aspect to have, especially on my transition into college. I believe that it is because of the district's music and theater programs that I have grown to be a more social and well-rounded community member. My plans post-high school is to attend Plattsburgh University, where I will study robotic engineering and minor in performance art. Once again, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Sullivan. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready to take a break for dinner. And then when we get done, we'll come back and we'll have the rest of the scholarship recipients come up. But, I always like to, listen to the speeches and talk about what we get to learn, from our students. And I always take notes every time I see this event. And, some of the things that you all mentioned are so incredibly important. For instance, taking challenges and accepting challenge. That's incredibly important. That's one of the only ways you're ever going to be successful in this world. You guys mentioned things like following your heart and recognizing, people that are passionate about things who have inspired you to take those challenges and follow your own dreams. So I think we all get the opportunity to learn from one another. And after 20 years, I still go to school and not work, and that's because of the students. And I know I can say that for everybody else that I work with. So congratulations to everybody so far, and we'll come back to the rest of the award winners momentarily. When we took the kids out to get their pictures, they were trying to guess who was going to be next, and they thought it was going to be an alphabetical order, but they were wrong. But I guess we'll start the next section of speeches in alphabetical order. Gavin Baxter. Gavin was the one who thought he was going to be.
Good evening. Firstly, I'd like to start off by saying thank you to the ETSRPA for everything they do for the students, teachers, and staff. I would also like to say thank you to my family, my friends, and all the teachers and coaches I've had at Elmville Central School. Throughout my high school experience, I have learned many lessons. The most important lessons I've learned is do not take anything for granted. Live in the moment because you do not know what will happen tomorrow. I
consider these lessons valuable because these lessons will forever be important to me and help me be successful in the future. In the fall, I'll be attending Utica College and I'll be majoring in sports management. Once again, thank you.
So I have to let her
Yes, don't take that for granted, what's in there. Congratulations. So next up to the podium is Travis Southwell.
Good evening. First of all, I would like to thank the ETSRPA for this scholarship. I'm very grateful I've selected and thankful for the opportunity to use this scholarship to further my education in music. I would like to thank my parents and my close friends for always pushing me to do better and to reach my goals. And for my final thank you, I would like to thank Mr. Trombley and Mr. Barhouse for helping me reach my full potential, whether it was with singing or athletics. We both have been role models for me since freshman year, and I'll continue to use these ideals to further me in life. You've all been a great deal of help throughout my 4 years of college. Because of you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thank you. You guys taught me the lesson of responsibility. To me, that means being dependable, keeping promises, and honoring our commitments. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, congratulations, friends. Next up to the podium, Madeline.
Okay, so I just want to start off by thanking the ETSRPA for this award tonight. And I also want to thank my parents for always supporting me with everything that I do, whether it was field hockey or acting and singing. And I also want to thank my grandparents for always picking me up and driving me back from school. Thank you. When I was in school, I always had the same teachers as my brother. So when I would go in, they would always be like, "Are you Noah related?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." Lessons I have learned from Alamo is to never be afraid to ask questions and to always try my best. I consider these so valuable because they've helped me so much and helped me grow as a person. I never really tried to manage my time, but my teachers helped me and made sure I always had time in class, and I find these so valuable because it made me less stressed. And I plan on attending SUNY on the outside of the fall to study political science and to eventually become a lawyer. Thank you guys again.
Our next scholarship recipient. Go ahead.
I just want to start this off by thanking the ETSRPA for voting for me and my family. Without you tonight wouldn't be possible. I'd also like to thank all of my friends, teachers, and coaches that have supported me through this journey. One of the many important lessons I have learned from my life is how to care for myself and others. I will carry this lesson with me throughout my whole life and share it with others. I consider this lesson so valuable because it has helped me through many years of school of being who I am today. After high school, I will be attending Wilson University and will be majoring in finance. Thank you again.
Our final scholarship recipient is Gavin Baxter.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I would like to start off by thanking the ETSRPA for the scholarship. I am beyond grateful for all that you have done and continue to do for each and every one of us. None of this would have been possible without you all. I would like to thank my former classmates, teammates, my siblings, and most of all, my parents. You have all had a positive impact on my life and have made me who I am today. And the Ellenville Central School District has taught me many life lessons. I will forever carry them. Ellenville teachers and staff have taught me that not every situation will always be perfect, and that it is okay to fail. A mistake doesn't define you, but your drive to try again, that will. I like to think that because of this, I am the person I am today. Once again, thank you all.
All right. So before we get into some dessert, and after that, you guys will have time to, mingle. You guys will go outside and get pictures. There's a nice space in the back there. I just want to piggyback on a few things that the students said to me. Because as teachers, oftentimes our students are our greatest teachers. Just in the last round of speeches, I heard the mention of responsibility. And you are all here this evening because you have been incredibly responsible. If you were irresponsible, you would not have been chosen. And that responsibility was clearly instilled upon you by your family. And don't take that for granted. I think that with everything we've been through as a society in the past 14 to 15 months, I think we've all learned a lesson not to take things for granted. And I know I speak for everyone that incredibly grateful to be here tonight, surrounded by all of you. Most importantly, you guys as students, because that's what this is all about. So please take that lesson with you. I think that's incredibly important. You recently mentioned, asking questions, trying your best. So it's okay to not know everything, but if you do your best, you'll be successful in whatever you choose to do. Or, taking care of yourself and others, that's incredibly important as well. If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of other people. We need to remember that as you guys get ready to move on to the next journey of your life. And finally, not every situation being perfect. I think we've all had to deal with a little imperfect over the last 14 to 15 months. And like I said, I know I speak for everybody, and we're all very grateful here in this imperfect situation, but it's a lot better than we were last year at this time. And I think we can all recognize that. I thank you all again for being the students that you were. Most importantly, like I said, I thank the parents for sharing your wonderful kids with us. It's a great honor to stand in front of you and have the ability to welcome these 10 fantastic students, student athletes, student performers, entertainers, and artists all come up to the podium and giving them a chance to share what they learned about Ellenville Central School District. It has been our pleasure to serve you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy some dessert, enjoy some mingling, photos out back, and thank you to the people for hosting us. And everybody have a wonderful evening and enjoy your upcoming graduation.